is the king who became a deer due to his past karma. The king who became a deer due to his past karma. What is the meaning of original sin? As long as one is identified with one's body and mind, so long one has original sin, no matter what position one has. When one is identified with body and mind, then, after that, whatever sin one commits is called a secondary sin. Without overcoming original sin, you cannot overcome secondary sins. Adam and Eve were identified with the body and mind. They committed original sin, therefore they lost heavenly grace and were expelled from paradise. Ultimately, they became man and woman, although they were the son and daughter of God. Bhagavan Jesus Christ was not identified with body and mind. Therefore, he became the Son of God, although he was born of a woman. Body and mind are the products of time and space, while the principle of I Am is beyond time and space, omnipresent, omnipotent, omniscient, one with cosmic soul, cosmic I Am. You cannot avoid the operation of karma and its consequences. That is to say, future birth, rebirth, and reincarnation, because karma, destiny, operates on the body and mind, which is always under space and time with cause and effect. To illustrate this fact, I want to narrate for you the most unusual mystical and mythical story of a king who, due to his past karma, became a deer, but did not lose his prior memory. When he was born as a deer, he continued to meditate for his liberation. The story goes as follows. Bharata, son of the royal sage Rishva, was a mighty monarch. He was so mighty that this land, which had till then been known as Ajanabha, was henceforth called Bharata Varsha, after his name.
India.
Otherwise known as India.
Bharata.
Bharat Varsha.
Him.
After his name, Bharata. Bharata ruled over his subjects like a kindly father who had the good of all his children at heart. He labored incessantly for the benefit of all, but with no thought of personal gain. However slight the task, he performed it as a service to the Lord. Every act thus became one of devotion, purifying his heart, freeing him from passions, and finally uniting his consciousness with that of the Supreme Brahman,
Absolute I am.
the Absolute I Am. In his old age, King Bharata divided his kingdom among his 5 sons and retired into the forest to meditate on God, hoping thus to break the bonds of karma which held him to life. He knew that all duties and all work are but preparation for the time when all fetters which bind the soul to matter are forever cut asunder. On the banks of the river Gandaki, in the forest of the Himalayas, he built himself a little cottage of reeds, and there, constantly meditating upon the God of love, who resides in the souls of all men, he found that inner peace for which all of his life he had striven. Every morning he offered worship with the following prayer: May we meditate on supreme light. From it, the whole universe has issued. It exists in the hearts of all, and unto it will all go back. It is the intelligence in all beings, the guide of all intelligence. In it do we take refuge. Thus days and months and years passed. In it, then, one day, a doe came to drink water near the place where the royal sage was meditating. At the same moment, a little distance away, a lion roared. The doe was so terrified that she did not pause to satisfy her thirst, but made a sudden jump across the river. Since she was with young, this extreme exertion and sudden fright made her give birth to a little fawn. And immediately afterward, she dropped dead. The fawn fell into the water and was being swept away by the foaming stream when it caught the eyes of Bharata. Instantly the king rose from his meditation and rescued the newborn animal from the water. He took it to the cottage, made a fire, and with care and attention nursed the little thing back to life. Then the kindly sage took the fawn under his protection, bringing it up on soft grass and fruits. It throve under the paternal care of the retired monarch and grew into a beautiful deer. Then, he whose mind had been strong enough to break away from the lifelong attachment to power, position, and family, became attached to the deer, which he had saved from the stream. And, as he became more and more fond of the deer, less and less could he concentrate upon the Lord. When the deer went out to graze in the forest and was late in returning, the royal sage would become anxious and worried. He would think, perhaps my little one has been attacked by some tiger, or perhaps some other danger has befallen it. Otherwise, why is it late in returning? Some years passed in this way. Then one day, knowing that death was near, the royal sage laid himself down to die. But his mind, instead of being intent upon the self, was thinking about the deer. And while his eyes were fixed on the sad face of his beloved deer, his soul left the body.
Whatever you have thought,
Whatever thoughts you have
at
at the time of death of the body,
next life
your next life
becomes that.
becomes that. As a result of this, in the next birth, he was born a deer. But no karma is lost, and all the great and good deeds done by him as a king and a sage bore fruit. This deer was born Jatismara. That is to say, he remembered his past birth, though he was bereft of speech and was living in an animal body.
Like me. I can remember.
You can remember, but
It might not
you can't talk? Everyone enjoys your comment. He continually went apart from his companions as a deer, and was instinctively drawn to grazing near hermitages, where oblations were offered and the Upanishads were preached. After the usual years of a deer's life, he died and was born next as the youngest son of a rich Brahmin. In this life he also remembered all his past, and even in his infancy he was determined to get entangled no more in the good and evil of life. As he grew up, he was strong and healthy, but he would not speak a word. He lived like one sluggish and weak-witted, from fear of getting entangled in worldly affairs. His thoughts were always on the infinite, and he lived only to wear out his past prarabdha karma.
His
Present karma. In the course of time, his father died, and the other sons divided the property among themselves. Thinking that the youngest son was a dumb, good-for-nothing young man, they seized his share.
He was hiding by firemen.
He was acting like a madman. Their charity extended only to the point of giving him food enough to live on. The wives of the brothers were often very harsh with him, compelling him to do all the hard work. And if at any time he was unable to do everything they demanded, they would treat him very unkindly. But he showed neither vexation nor fear, neither did he speak a word. When they persecuted him too much, he would stroll out of the house and sit under a tree hour after hour until their wrath was appeased. And then he would quietly go home again. Now one day it happened. The wives of his brothers had treated him with more than the usual unkindness. Bharata went out of the house and seated himself under the shadow of a tree, rested. Now it happened that the king, Rahugana, was
Pride of you. He was pride of you.
He was searching a guru, the king, Rahugana, and was passing by, carried on a palanquin, on the shoulders of bearers. So it happened, one of the bearers had unexpectedly fallen ill, and so the king's attendants were looking about for a man to replace him. They came upon Bharata, seated under a tree,
He was brave.
and seeing he was strong, they asked him if he would take the place of the sick man. Bharata did not reply, whereupon the king's servants caught hold of him and placed the pole on his shoulders. Without speaking a word, Bharata walked on with his fellow bearers. Very soon after this, the king remarked that the palanquin was not being carried evenly, and he looked out, addressed the new bearer, saying, "Fool, rest a while. If thy shoulders pain thee, rest a while." Then Bharata, laying the pole of the palanquin down, opened his lips for the first time in his life and spoke. "Whom dost thou, O king, call a fool? Whom dost thou ask to lay down the palanquin? Who dost thou say is weary? Whom dost thou address as thou? If thou meanest, O king, by the word thou, this mass of flesh, it is composed of the same matter as thine. It is unconsciousness. It knoweth no weariness. It knoweth no pain. But if it is the mind is the same as thine. It is universal. But if the word thou is applied to something beyond that, then it is the self, the reality in me, which is the same as in thee, and it is the one in the universe. Dost thou mean, O king, that the self can ever be weary, that it can ever be tired, ever be hurt?"
He became identical with God.
He became identical with God,
Madman.
the madman, Bharata. "I did not want, O king, this body did not want, to trample upon poor worms crawling on the road. And therefore, as I tried to avoid them, the palanquin moved unevenly. But the self was never tired. It was never weak, never bore the pole of the palanquin, for it is omnipotent and omnipresent." Now, the king, Rahugana, who was proud of his learning, knowledge, and philosophy, alighted immediately from the palanquin and fell at the feet of Bharata, saying, "I ask thy pardon, O mighty one. I did not know that thou wert a sage when I asked thee to carry me. It is my great blessing that I meet thee. Pray, teach me the knowledge of self." "O king," said Bharata, "to know thyself is the highest knowledge. But this knowledge of the self does not arise so long as man thinks he can find happiness in the transitory world. Man remains bound by his own deeds, good or evil, because of the identification of the self with the three gunas, sattva, rajas, and tamas. Good or evil attaches itself to the mind alone, and never to the true self. The mind is like an adjunct to the self. The divine self appears as an individual spirit because of its association and identification with the mind, as are the deeds, good or evil, which attach themselves to the mind. So is the new birth, high or low. Man enjoys or suffers according to his deeds. The mind, therefore, is the cause of bondage as well as the cause of freedom. Mind associated with the gunas becomes the cause of bondage and suffering. But when freed from its association, it brings freedom and peace. The eternal subject, the eternal witness is the divine self, untouched by any deeds or thoughts. It is beyond the mind and senses. It is light itself. It is God called Narayana, for he resides in the hearts of all beings. He is Vasudeva, for he is the refuge of all beings. He is the ruler of his own Maya, and as ruler, he dwells at the heart of all he has created. Human beings go round and round in the wheel of birth and death until they wake up, and by controlling their passions, free themselves from the bondage of Maya and know the truth about the divine self. There is no salvation or freedom until a man frees himself from his own mind, knowing the truth of the self as distinct from the mind. It is the mind that causes all experience of misery, delusion, disease, lust, greed, and anger. The mind is the abode of all these. Subjugate this mind with the sword of knowledge, made keen by worship of the Lord of love, the teacher of all teachers. There is one truth, one existence, knowledge itself, the unitary consciousness, pure, unchangeable, beyond subject and object. This knowledge they call God, the Lord of love. Not by mere study of the Vedas, nor by penance, nor even by good deeds can one attain this knowledge, but by association with great souls. When the heart has become pure, one takes delight in meditating upon the Lord of love. Burning the sin of ignorance in the fire of knowledge, man realizes his identity with Brahman and attains the Lord of love, the goal of life. Indeed, this world can be compared to a dense forest where men have lost their way. There are thieves and robbers in the forest, the senses and sense experiences which rob us of our own heritage, the divinity within. There is a mirage before us. We see it and run to satisfy our thirst. There is the thirst for happiness in us, and we run to satisfy this in the objective world, which is as elusive as the mirage. At times we remember that there is nothing desirable in the world, but this we soon forget. We go round and round in this forest and do not find our way out until some kind traveler, some great soul, reveals it to us. The wise, the self-controlled ones, having attained freedom for themselves, show us the way to freedom. O King Rahugana, thou art also lost in the deep forest of the world. Give up all attachment. Be friendly to all beings, and with the sword of knowledge, sharpened by worship and meditation and service, cut asunder the bonds of ignorance. Bharata, having thus spoken, the king prostrated himself before him. Thereupon they took leave of each other. Bharata continued.
He mourned
He found his guru.
And he bowed of man.
in the form of a madman. Thereupon they took leave, Bharata continuing to teach the truth that he had realized, and the king returning to his kingdom, there to realize the truth which he had learned. Are there any questions?
Our soul recall.
Our
soul.
soul.
Our soul recall.
Our soul is called
Holistic.
holistic
Mindful.
principle,
By body,
where the body,
mind,
mind,
and soul.
and soul are together.
If soul identified with body,
If the soul is identified with the body,
then that soul
then that soul
becomes victim.
becomes
Victim.
the victim
of time and space.
of time and space.
Because wherever whole body and mind goes,
Because wherever your body and mind go,
whatever you body and mind do,
whatever your body and mind do,
you become that.
you become that.
What it is,
What is the reason?
all the holiness everywhere,
God is present everywhere,
and find moment,
in every man, woman,
animal,
animal,
hell, heaven,
in hell and heaven.
why not suffer?
Why does he not suffer? Think.
God is omnipresent,
God is omnipresent,
present everywhere.
present everywhere,
Tiny heaven,
in the tiny atom,
America,
in
heaven.
America. I'm sorry, amoeba. Shocking news. Excuse me. Even
Sun, moon, and stars,
the sun, moon, and stars,
tiny heaven,
hell and heaven,
earth.
earth.
Why not suffer?
Why does he not suffer?
Because he is not bound by with body mind.
Because he is not identified with body and mind.
We feel,
We feel,
we breathe.
we breathe
Here,
this air.
Animal, cat, dog,
Animals, cats, dogs,
and all breathe.
they all breathe.
And child,
And
4, 5,
your,
child,
yes, tires.
whole, fuel.
Your automobile tires are full of air.
Why is heart covered? Why is not covered?
Why is air not suffering from all that? It just rides along.
You cannot sigh, cannot sky,
You cannot cry
on top,
or laugh
without hair.
without air.
Can you?
Can you?
Can you do anything out here?
Can you do anything without air?
I still have not funny.
And still air is not suffering.
Unconsciously,
On consciousness,
you have no monopoly.
you have no monopoly.
On matter,
On matter,
hot, water, fire,
air and ether, the 5 elements,
non-hot,
they belong to all.
no monopoly.
There is no monopoly.
You have to eat.
You have to be. You have
You
to
have to
eat.
eat. Humble people for eating.
Some people live for eating.
Humble people
Some people, however, eat to live.
But here,
But the real,
he said,
the result,
he am
is
different.
different.
Body and mind under destiny
Body and mind are under destiny
because he begin being time free.
because they are within time and space.
But with time free.
They work with cause and effect.
By your I am
While your I am
beyond the body and mind,
is beyond the body and mind,
beyond time free,
beyond time and space,
beyond time free.
beyond cause and effect,
I've been doing on.
always noumenon,
Eight have put holy moly, but boy, he all day,
it possesses
all
the
humble.
whole universe.
To have made he out, to fulfill,
You possess
he out, who is out,
a
he out.
little house,
Pay, he not missed out Moses. Pay, he not missed him.
while it is not the victim of possession.
Why?
Why?
Because this is beyond body and mind.
Because it is beyond the body, senses, and mind,
Beyond things,
beyond the 6 days of creation.
body more without meditation.
What is the purpose of meditation?
To heal freedom.
To feel freedom.
Therefore you have going on
Therefore you have noumenon
in phenomena.
and phenomenon.
By means of phenomenon,
By means of phenomenon,
you practice any place
You work in the relative world,
without time.
the world of time and space.
By means of on,
By means of noumenon,
you are beyond time.
you are beyond time and space.
You are circulating.
You are
Circulating. Like breathing.
circulating like breathing,
In and out.
in and out.
When breathing is not circulating,
When breathing is not circulating,
then particle animal
then what is it called? Asthma?
having difficulty
Difficulty in circulation of breathing.
and him be.
In the same way,
I am point out I am
the principle of I am,
beyond time and space,
beyond time and space,
beyond human into someone.
beyond noumenon and phenomenon,
Therefore, it exists.
therefore it circulates.
Although he has whole universe,
Although it has its own universe,
whole
the
universe,
whole universe,
yet
yet
has underneath whole universe.
it is transcending the whole universe.
Any
In the
has
relative world,
who cannot work with our physical body.
you cannot work without physical body.
On the other hand,
On the other hand,
you cannot work
you cannot work
anything
at anything
while you are dead.
when you are dead.
Therefore, you have to pick up whole heart,
Therefore, you have to pick up
full
both
knowledge. Not knowledge.
knowledge, both types of knowledge.
We must start to think.
We forgot to
Think. Our thinking is not thinking.
Our thinking is not thinking.
So our thinking is humaning.
Our thinking is ruminating,
Like anyway.
like an animal.
But anyway, right?
The animal, what it eats, goes into one stomach, comes up again. Another stomach comes up again, chewing more. Stomach again, chewing.
By anything be, whatever we study, the food and that.
In the same way, whatever you learned in school and college,
Humaning.
you are still ruminating.
Because we not know who you are.
Because you do not know who you are.
Therefore, turn back.
Therefore, turn back
Whole place you are born.
to that place from which you were born.
See, you are by the birth of body.
And see, by the birth of the body,
You are not born.
you are not born.
So, by growth of body,
By the growth of the body,
you are not growing.
you are not growing.
By death of body,
By the death of the body,
you are not dying.
you are not dying.
By main body,
By a male body,
you are not free.
you are not male.
By a hard body,
By a female body,
you are not free.
you are not female.
By animal body,
By an animal body,
you are not animal.
you are not an animal.
By hard body,
By
hard,
an angel's body,
you are not animal.
you are not an angel.
Who are the hero?
You are
How you are.
as you are.
Be still, know I am that I am.
Be still and know I am that I am.
Whole time become very happy.
Your whole life becomes very happy.
You cannot be
You cannot believe
as happy.
that happiness.
How you feel part you are
If you feel what you are
without medicine.
without meditation,
I can tell you.
I can tell you,
All of a you will die.
all of a sudden you will die
Heart failure.
of heart failure
So you over harmony. How to
to over happiness.
break out.
You will be blissed out.
I can tell you.
I can,
Why are you?
I can tell you
Why would
my story.
have I have no doubt?
If I had not had a stroke,
I have it. Why body cannot stop it?
my body could not tolerate such happiness.
You wanted to be out of your body.
Huh?
You wanted to be out of your body.
No, not on my hand.
It's not in my hands.
Birth of body and part of body, not so funny.
The birth of the body and the death of the body are under destiny.
So how
If you love,
you tell?
he who loves,
Be careful.
be careful.
Don't be attacked.
Don't be attached.
Body and brain when power and
What is the difference between love and attachment?
have no self, have no happiness.
Love has no conditions.
Find how they have happiness,
When you love with
nothing
conditions,
to husband.
that is called attachment.
Very hard to know
Very hard to know.
between self and happiness.
Between love and attachment,
How life,
if you love your wife or
husband,
husband
husband,
unconditionally with
husband,
and children
anybody.
or anybody,
You have no tension.
you have no conditions.
That is all that we without husband.
Then your love is without attachment.
How high any
If you
husband,
have any conditions,
then you have rise out of that way.
then you have,
Salvage way.
then your love is business.
When it's enough, you cannot do his about husband.
You cannot do business without attachment.
But between your private family,
But between your wife and children, husband,
not business.
it's not business.
Hard to be short.
There's
Other than-
automatic growth.
to have a job. To have a job.
To have a dog
Or
or
cat.
cat
On anyway.
or any animal.
To casual
it's very natural.
and stuff.
There will be love.
But when you are attack,
But when you are attached,
oh, very careful. Be careful.
be careful.
To say time you will cat
Next life you'll become a cat
and stop.
or a dog.
Like this.
Like this story.
Therefore, be careful.
Therefore, be careful.
From beyond any husband.
Love without any conditions.
Any
Are there any questions?
when I see on the tour,
When I see on the road
when someone walking,
any
with-
man or a woman walking their dog,
I can know.
I can know.
Who's the dog?
Past incarnations.
Sometimes the dog walks.
Yeah, that's right.
This little tiny little doggy that was in New York City and we were driving, seeing, was so determined. It was way ahead of the lady and pulling ahead and very strong and tiny little thing. And then it was trying to keep up. Guruji was saying that was the
Mother of God.
mother and daughter. The lady was the daughter originally. Her mother became dog, and because she had been controlling.
Still keeping her on a leash.
Now taking revenge, controlling the other way, but still the dog was trying to get away.
Any question?
Any other questions?
Huh?
Well, this is a funny question, but I am wondering about this story whether the king got his enlightenment as a deer, because
Huh.
having realized he was a deer, maybe he was shocked.
Next time,
It was-
when we got mine,
Next life when he was a man, it came.
He was a Jaipari.
high five. Five means five. Mine, mine. Come, five feet. You?
Question?
Okay. Thank you. feel you are unborn
Feel you are unborn,
therefore you do not die.
therefore you do not die.
I am personal for Amen.
I am the ocean of pure awareness.
Feel your body very calm.
Feel your body is very calm.
Mind is very happy.
Mind is very happy.
You are very peaceful.
You are very blissful.
我是老天的，我是老天的。
Ocean of tranquility.
Beyond the universe of senses.
Beyond the universe of the senses.
Ah